Hey everyone. So today is it's still June 26th. I'm usually making these videos really late at night. Um, and today's question, it's a little bit personal. So it's about kind of imposter syndrome and wondering like, do I have what it takes? Do I know what I'm talking about? Do I have the right to share any information? Like, what does anybody give out a certificate that says you're ready? Um, so it's a bit of a tricky thing. I think I've been teaching for about 20 years, and I guess like every single year of that, it there's these questions of like, do I know what I'm doing? Am I doing this right? Am I reaching the right people? Do people want my services? Do people want lessons? And so it kind of never goes away. I mean, the experience keeps accumulating, but it goes back a little bit to that story about like the elephant and the steak, where, um, I mean, it's not great to tie up an animal, but the idea behind that example is that the elephant, when it's little, it's maybe not strong enough to break itself loose from a rope on a stake. And then when it grows up to be a big adult elephant that is very strong, very powerful, inside, it's still stuck with this experience in the past, thinking it's not ready yet or it's not strong enough. So, yeah, with experience and things, like teaching, I think, yeah, I do try to challenge myself and learn new skills and kind of be a little bit out of my comfort zone to learn things, but at the same time, wondering like, am I ready yet? Am I ready yet? And I think there's always this sense of like, well, no, I still need to keep acquiring knowledge. I still need to keep learning. Lately, that's probably been the TOEFL exam, even though I've had like hundreds of students now taking the exam, even got a perfect score. Even despite the perfect score, I maybe discredit a perfect score and say, well, people are not going to really value that because they're just going to think I'm a native speaker. They're going to think that a perfect score is too easy, that I didn't have to work hard for it. And to be honest, like I worked a lot to get that score. I worked a heavily amount on strategies for like the reading section, practicing my listening skills, even though I'm a native speaker, working on these things for the exam. And it's not about the ability to speak the language. It's about kind of how well you know the exam and the tips and the tricks and the traps for the exam. So, um, and I do read some of these stories where people say, oh, you must be so talented. And then people really find those comments to be very insulting because it really discredits all the hard work that goes into something. And I'm reading a book right now about Nikola Tesla, and there was one section they were talking about this one baseball player. Unfortunately, I forget his name, and he worked incredibly hard, constantly practicing. Yet in the press, in like the 20s or 30s, I forget when, they were just saying, "Oh my gosh, he's so talented," and talent had like nothing to do with it. He was just a really hard worker. So, um, yeah. In the case of preparing students for the exam, I have gotten students great results. I've gotten myself great results. Yet I still don't quite give myself the credit or market myself, or kind of go out of the way and say, I'm a great teacher. I really help my students. I put a lot of work into those lessons to help students because I really want to help them. I might be a bit, I don't know, too shy, too modest on that stuff because I don't like, going out and saying, yes, I'm a great teacher. I prefer to have like student testimonials say that kind of a thing. And even when students do say that kind of stuff, I'm usually not sharing that enough because I don't know, I feel a little, I don't know why I do that. Like I'm not so outgoing to like, hey, everybody, look at me. I'm this great teacher. Like I really don't want to do that, but I do need to do that, or I let other people do that. But and in language learning, I do get a little kind of, I don't know, shy when people start saying like, he speaks 10 languages. I'm like, no, I don't. I just speak 3. And then in these videos, I'm speaking like 6 of them or trying. And even then I would say, oh, my German's rusty, my Italian's rusty. So I'm always kind of diminishing some of the stuff. And then when I don't know, put my CV together and I play these instruments, I've lived in these countries, I've learned these languages, I've accomplished these things, and I'm still kind of like, oh, I mean, there's other people out there who do really cool things. And then my friends will usually go like, oh my gosh, I didn't know you could do so much stuff. And I'm still kind of downplaying a lot of the stuff. So I don't think I'll ever stop kind of downplaying the stuff. But so yeah, you can have all these experiences, lots of skills, lots of things, in this sense of like, do I feel kind of am I at the level that I want to be at, or somehow I feel like I keep making a lot of noise or treading water, or I'm busy but and helping lots of people, but I haven't yet transformed a lot of this knowledge into maybe some kind of a passive course, something that I could just kind of sell and buy myself some time with that money. I'm kind of staying busy and teaching, but maybe not kind of at that level, or taking on projects that I wish I could be doing with time, and maybe pivoting slightly for some of these things so I could, but it's just kind of standing into a spotlight and doing that, putting in that work. And I think a little bit of it is the this kind of risk, or being willing to take that risk of kind of standing out, not being willing to make these mistakes, and realizing like, okay, I do know what I'm talking about. I do have the experience. And for teaching languages, I started to try to teach a few things, teach French, teach Spanish a couple of years ago. And then I guess I came across a few students who they were valuing work with a native speaker. And I recognize that some students want to work with me for learning English as I'm a native speaker. And I want to work with other people in different languages like Spanish or French or German or Italian or Russian as a native speaker. But I mean, it really doesn't matter if they have more experience than I do, and they've found shortcuts and tips and advice and resources that they can share with me to help me get to my next level. I don't really need to have a native speaker to do that. Yet I allowed several students who were kind of wanting a native speaker to make me feel less valuable with my experience of learning Spanish or French or German, Italian, or Russian, to like, I would not give myself credit for like learning these languages. So I realized that a couple of people out there in the market, language learning market, going like, how do they overcome those reactions or rejections? And I think it wasn't so much of, I'm going to teach you this. It was more of, well, this worked for me. I can't guarantee that'll work for you, but I'll just share this with you anyway. You can take it with a grain of salt and do what you want with it. But it took me a while to kind of get to that point, and realize like I've learned several languages. I've gone through that experience. I've been doing that for like 25 years, yet I will kind of discredit myself or downplay it and say, oh, but I'm still not a native speaker. So does that mean I can't share anything? And that's kind of frustrating to sometimes, if I really don't want to have that reverse and make other people feel like I'm putting spotlight on me as a native speaker, when I was just like, I won a birth lottery. I could have been born anywhere else in the world. I just happen to be born where people speak English. Um, and I do feel that I have things that I can share for learning Spanish or French or these other languages, and not feel bad about like, well, I'm not a native speaker and I don't make claims that I am, but I will share information to say like, I can still help people. I can still help fellow English speakers. I can recognize weaknesses and things. I can motivate people. So it's everybody has something to offer, and it's unfortunate to have these kind of setbacks where we are questioning ourselves and wondering if we have anything valuable to share. I feel I have so much to share, but at the same time, I'm afraid of all this like backlash or negative comments. And then this month has been a bit conflict heavy with things going on around the world and racism and things like that. And I'm like, well, should I stand up? Should I stay silent? Should I say nothing? Should I speak out? Do I have anything I can share? And really feeling a bit afraid of, well, people are probably going to tell me like, yeah, don't talk about that stuff. What do you have to share about that? So it's, but at the same time, people saying like, okay, staying silent is just being complicit. So, it's unfortunate to have these feelings of inadequacy on knowing enough or sharing it, and I'd like to get rid of that stuff. I'd like to just kind of share and really not have to deal with those second thoughts and things, and just be proud of what I have to share and share it, and maybe I'm overreacting on assuming that people are gonna say, hey, you have no right to do this and stop, and I think it's also like I'm sharing learning information and helping people with good intentions. I'm not like, yeah. So I think I need to just raise the confidence notch up a lot louder, so any of these negative feelings can kind of just be drowned out. It's not so easy sometimes. And lately I've been watching some videos from the hosts from Mythbusters, Adam Savage, Jamie Heineman, and especially some of the ones with Adam Savage, and making some comments like, well, yeah, constantly feeling like when he was working with Industrial Light and Magic, he kept feeling that every day he was working there, somebody would kind of tap him on the shoulder and say like, you don't have what it takes to be here, you messed this up, or like it's time for you to pack up and leave. And that even throughout the series, you'd still have those moments where like nothing was working, everything was breaking, but they're constantly pushing the limit on what things that they would build and testing new things. And I did see another interview with Jamie Heineman saying like, failure is great because it means that they're learning something new, and they're trying to figure out why something didn't work. So they are learning new things from that, and that the success stuff ended up as it being like, well, it went according to plan, so there's nothing new to learn. It's as expected. So actually they're learning more from these failures, but still having these doubts from time to time about like, does this work? Is that next episode or this next thing going to be as good as the previous one? So that's tricky. I think a lot of people also do that with creative things on music or writing books or what else? Movies, acting. It can be a big letdown when somebody is holding an Academy Award and realizing like, is this the best? Like that's as good as it is, and the rest of my career is going to be the other side of like the best I have to offer in life. Is that behind me? Or that's a rather depressing thought sometimes, but So yeah, I think some of those awards, I don't know, best actor, best director, or platinum record, things like that. It it's a challenge to kind of start the next project and realize like, okay, what's next? So I think yeah, that's crazy. I think some of those people can be excellent at their field of expertise. They're experts, and still they can still have these thoughts of, is the next one going to be good enough? Is the audience going to like it? Are people going to enjoy it? So I think those thoughts just like never go away, and it's crazy. You still have these brilliant actors, brilliant directors, brilliant musicians, and they still, in despite decades of experience, they can still have these moments of thoughts of like, I'm not good enough, or that's crazy. I don't know why we do that. I need to go find some books, a few more books on this stuff, but because it is just so unnerving, and realizing that there's people out there who are truly experts, yet that thought, that feeling just doesn't really go away. That people will finally go, yes, I am. Yes, that's true. I am an expert. You can call me an expert now, and like I have, yeah, all the right in the world to be called an expert. I think it's just this. The older we get and the more we do stuff, we realize like no one is ever truly an expert. There's always more to learn. There's always more to keep doing. So, and I think it ends up being like, I think maybe people who are like really inexperienced, yet they will call themselves experts, and maybe kind of in a scammy way, and that makes other people who actually are well read and well versed and experienced and stuff to question themselves and doubt themselves. And I think that's really frustrating sometimes as well. I see people out there who, I mean, I'm definitely not going to name names or anything, but I can see how maybe people with like not even half my teaching experience, or not even a quarter of my teaching experience, yet on social media or things, certain platforms can be huge, like dozens and dozens of thousands of tens of thousands of followers or channels and things. And I think what they have that I'm not doing is just this unshakable confidence of, I don't care if I'm not the expert, I'm going to teach anyway. And I'm doing kind of the opposite. Like, I have all this experience, but I don't quite go out there and say like, yeah, I've got this unshakable confidence that I'm going to teach you. And because I know deep down, like, well, I mean, I can't do miracles for everybody. I mean, somebody who has to do the hard work themselves as well. So I can help people to a certain extent, but I'm not going to go out of the way and make these unfounded guarantees. So I guess that's why I've become maybe cautious, that it's risky to go out of the way and make these claims, where there are people out there who certainly aren't these experts, yet they will go out and make those claims and make lots of money, and then it feels a bit scammy. So yeah, I don't want to be in that position, and it's unfortunate because then it makes me feel like I'm somewhat embarrassed to share stuff. And so it's it's crazy. I think these feelings just never go away. It's just you kind of have to feel them, perceive them, recognize that they exist, and do what I'm going to do anyway. It's like somebody going up to go skydiving. They'll feel scared. They will panic. They will recognize that their life is in danger somehow. And they'll feel those things, and they'll still jump out of the plane anyway. And I feel like I'm probably one of those people who would go up in the plane, feel that fear, have all the equipment on, maybe have all the training that goes with it, and not jump. and then come back down, and then go back up in the plane again, feel the fear, have all the training, understand everything, still not jump. So yeah, it's just feel the fear, do it anyway. I guess that's the long story short. Just get over it, do it anyway. Do it anyway. I think that's going to be my next Nike quote. Just do it anyway. Not just just do it, but just do it anyway. If you're afraid, you're sick, you're tired, you don't know what you're doing, do it anyway. Yeah, I'm going to probably make that into a tweet or an Instagram picture or something. Okay. Hola a todos. Hoy es el día 26. Estamos hablando del como este sentimiento, esta sensación de como síndrome de fraude, que no tenemos el derecho de hablar de tal cosa, no tenemos la experiencia, no tenemos los resultados para hacerlo, pero hay gente que lo hace sin esos resultados, sin esas experiencias. Entonces lo hacen y hay gente que sí tiene esa experiencia y tal vez no. Tal vez se sienten que pues gente va a decir que no tienes el derecho de compartir esa información, es errónea, ¿por qué lo haces? Y pienso que he pensado demasiado en toda mi carrera de estoy listo, estoy preparado y sigo con eso, de como ya 25 años de experiencia con los idiomas y sigo pensando como, pero ¿quién quiere aprender conmigo? Pues no soy nativo en español, tengo mis propios errores, pero sí puedo ayudar a gente que están en el inicio del estudio. Pero aún así voy a decir, pues no, nada más tengo 25 años y es, es mucho. Y luego como, que voy a esperar que tenga 50 años. ¿Quién va a querer aprender con alguien que tiene como 80 años? Pues ya voy a estar, bueno, no sé, no sé si voy a todavía estar aquí si tengo 50 años de experiencia con el español. Bueno, sí, 25 años. Sí, todavía espero que voy a estar aquí. Pero si espero a tener 50 años para hacer las cosas, pues luego voy a estar muy cansado. Entonces no voy a estar perdiendo toda mi vida esperando tener la experiencia. Entonces, mientras tanto hay gente que tiene muy poca experiencia y de todas maneras comparten lo que saben. Entonces yo creo que la idea pues ahorita pues es sentir esas cosas, de percibir esas ideas de pues no estoy listo y hazlo de todas maneras. Ouais. Voilà, bonjour tout le monde. Aujourd'hui c'est le 26e jour du défi en juin. On est en train de parler de ce sentiment de je sais pas de quoi je parle, j'ai pas suffisamment d'expérience pour partager tout ça. Qui va vouloir apprendre avec moi? Qui veut regarder mes leçons? Et c'est dommage, je crois que j'ai beaucoup d'expérience dans l'enseignement, dans l'apprentissage. Et de toute façon, je continue à avoir ces idées pas mal placées, mais ces idées que je me donne pas assez de confiance ou pas assez de crédit pour les expériences que j'ai vécues et que je sais qu'ils sont peut-être uniques. Je ne sais pas s'il y a d'autres personnes avec quelque chose de pareil, mais de toute façon, je continue à penser que je parle l'espagnol uniquement pendant 25 ans. Je suis peut-être pas la meilleure personne pour faire apprendre des gens. Ou le français, je le parle juste, ça fait uniquement 23 ans. Donc, je continue à limiter euh, les expériences acquises et, et est-ce que je connais suffisamment pour avoir un site web Et c'est dommage. Je crois qu'il faudrait arrêter avec tout ça parce qu'il y a des gens qui ont beaucoup plus d'expérience et beaucoup plus de, je sais pas, talent, où ils font beaucoup de travail euh, pour gagner ou pour réussir. Et j'imagine que ces gens-là, ils continuent aussi avec des récompenses, des, euh, des, des, euh, des accolades. Et peut-être le prochain jour, ils pensent, donc ça y est, la meilleure, les meilleurs efforts sont dans le passé ou est-ce que j'ai encore quelque chose de bien à partager? Qu'est-ce qui va arriver maintenant? Qu'est-ce que je fais? Donc, c'est dommage quand il y a des gens qui pensent, OK, ça c'est le sommet et maintenant, bah, qu'est-ce que je fais? Euh, ouais, donc est-ce qu'on va aimer le prochain truc que je fais? Est-ce qu'on va l'apprécier? Est-ce qu'il y a un après? Ou il y a tout ce temps avant? Et ouais, voilà. Hallo an alle, heute ist der 26. Tag des Juni und wir sprechen ein bisschen über wenn wir denken, dass ich kann nicht es machen und wer sind ich? Ich möchte etwas lernen oder sagen und ich habe nicht so viel Praxis und ich kenne es nicht genug, aber ich denke, dass da ja, zum Beispiel für Spanisch, das ist jetzt 25 Jahre, dass ich spreche Spanisch, aber wenn man will Spanisch lernen, ich denke, niemand will Spanisch lernen mit mir. Oder Französisch, das ist 23 Jahre, aber das ist das ist viele Zeit und ich habe in Frankreich gewohnt. Ich kenne viele Dinge und ich kann es lernen, aber ich denke, nee, das ist nichts. Und ich will nicht machen es. Ich denke ein bisschen über Spieler oder Schauspieler, Spielmänner und wenn sie haben ein Oscar oder sie haben ein Buch und Autor und er schreibt ein sehr gut Buch und dann dieses Person denkt, dass er kann nicht ein zweites sehr gut Buch schreiben oder ein sehr gute Musik schreiben oder andere Filme machen und ich will nicht es machen für die Fremdsprachen und Teaching. Ich kann nicht sehr gut dieses Thema sprechen über es. Ciao a tutti oggi è il giorno 26, parliamo un po' di quando pensiamo posso imparare, posso insegnare qualcosa e dopo pensare che non ho esperienza, non so molto e per esempio il spagnolo lo parlo 20 25 anni, il francese 23 anni e l'ora penso, oh, non è molto, ma ci sono professori che insegnano con meno esperienza e dopo penso perché faccio questo? Perché non insegno più? Um, perché ho questi pensamenti di non sapere molto per insegnare? E, è una lastima. Um, questo, questo è tutto. Всем привет! Сегодня день 26 из челленджа, и мы говорим немного о том, что если мы думаем, что мы не можем учить или делать что-нибудь, потому что у нас нет больше experience. Если мы можем объяснить что-нибудь, и, например, у меня 25 лет, что я изучаю испанский язык, и также 23 года, что я изучаю французский язык, и также я жил во Франции, и сейчас я живу в Мексике уже почти 12 лет, и я не говорю о Мексике, я не to teach, учить испанский язык, думаю, что я не носитель, я носитель для английского, и поэтому я только делаю это для экзамена, но я знаю 5-6 иностранные языки, но я не делаю много, чтобы делать. Да, я знаю много, я не делаю это и думаю, что потом там есть людей, которые говорят больше на YouTube, на Фейсбуке, на Инстаграме, и потом я думаю, что зачем я не делаю это, и зачем я продолжаю думать, что я не знаю об этом, и да. Думаю, что я не должен продолжать делать это. Я должен делать Even though, я не знаю, это думать, что я не могу делать это и делать это так. Я не знаю, как сказать это на русском. Большое спасибо и пока.